everybody. Welcome to Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and I'm honored to have on the phone with me this morning a person I consider to be a legendary actor. For the past 15 years, I have enjoyed watching Nick Piper perform in various plays at Barter Theatre in Abingdon, and we're talking about one that he's directing now as the Associate Artistic Director of Barter Theatre. Please welcome Nick Piper to the show. It's an honor to have you, Nick.
Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Zach. That was quite a nice introduction. I'm not used to that.
Well, it is my pleasure, and as I said, I have had the privilege of reviewing various Barter shows for the last 15 years, and I have watched you in many, many plays as a fan, as I am of all Barter actors, and I'm a big fan of your wife as well, and I have seen
Thank you.
And
I am too.
Yes, and I've seen your daughter Lucy perform as well. And
That's right. She's performing. My daughter Maggie's getting ready to perform. She's going to be in Frozen this summer.
Oh, very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, she's super excited.
And my favorite, I have to tell you, my favorite role that you were in, and I cannot think of the name of the play right now, but it was locally written where you were one of the writers on Gone with the Wind.
That's right. That was a play called Don't Cry for Me, Margaret Mitchell.
Very good.
That was written by a mother-son team named V. Kate and Duke Ernsberger.
Yes.
And they used to write. We did a number of their shows back in the day, and they were super funny, and that show was fun. Yeah.
Yes, and I was fortunate enough to meet Duke, when I attended a talk after walking across Egypt.
Oh, right, okay.
And I was able to meet Duke Ernsberger. Is he still around?
Duke just recently passed, is what I heard. But he was a great member of the Barter family for a long time, and we did he wrote a lot of very funny shows that we produced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really enjoyed the opportunity to meet him, and that was a great
nice
experience. But we are digressing, as you will find that I so often do. But we are here to talk about Million Dollar Quartet, which is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh wow!
As you read in the review, I had tickets to see it in 2017 when my friend Suzanne Boulay was directing that show, and my lift broke down, which being wheelchair bound, I can't just hop in any car and go. My particular machine has to be working, so I was just absolutely sick about it, and thought I had missed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So when I saw that it was coming back this year, I said, I've got to do it. And
I'm so glad.
And when I went last time, my daughter was only 3 years old. She wouldn't have been old enough to come along. So now I know. Now I know why I had to wait, because my daughter went and loved the play. My wife.
Did she like it?
My wife loved it. You know, she's a wonderful singer as well, and she loves anything with music in it. And those four guys were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, they are the A team of Million Dollar Quartet. They have blown me away with not just their musical ability, but their energy. And you saw it in there. But at the end of the show, it's crazy. The roof is coming off the theater, and it's been such a pleasure to get to work with them. I feel very lucky that I got to.
Now, are these four people, are they regular Barter actors? Because they're not people I have seen before that I know.
They are not. We have brought them in from outside. The performed at Barter before this group is Peter Oilo, who plays Johnny Cash. Mm-hmm. He played Johnny Cash in Ring of Fire that we did last year, and he played it in the 2017 Million Dollar Quartet.
Okay.
That we did here.
Well,
so here, one of the things that's interesting about this play is that there are actors who do Million Dollar Quartet all over the country, and these are four of them. There's many others, but so they know the show really well. They play the shows really well, and Peter helped kind of get us to get together this great group of performers, and so it's all their first time being here, and it's been great to get to know them and work with them.
Well, I have to tell you, my daughter will be 11 in May, and she's already hit the boy crazy stage.
Yep.
So if your girls haven't hit it yet, look out. It's coming, and it comes earlier. Yeah. So she would not let me leave until everybody had cleared out. She was determined she was going to meet one of the guys. And
did she get to?
And she did not get to. They were shutting everything down, but one had gotten in the car and followed us out, and I think she got a wave, and I think it was the guy who played Carl Perkins, who was.
Oh, great!
Who was?
Yeah.
But she said, "I want to go see the show again so that maybe I can meet him." It's just.
Well, if you guys get to come back, let me know, and we'll make sure she gets to meet them. Okay?
Oh well, bless your heart. I will keep your number, and we'll see if we can get it going. But now if she hears this, she's gonna hold me to it. So I don't know if we can make it. I don't know if we can.
I'm sorry, but you're in a pickle there, Zach.
Yeah, because I don't know if we can make it again. My dear friend who I grew up with here in Wytheville, Amber Fiorini, she arranges for me to be able to see all the shows. Bless her heart. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady, and her assistant Nikki Goodman they are just fantastic ladies, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah, they're incredible people. I feel very lucky I get to work with them.
That they give me the opportunity. So I just want to mention that. But those four guys that are leading the way in this, they are unbelievable. And I would go so far as to say, as I believe the spirits of Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Carl Perkins are embodied in those four young men. I mean,
it certainly feels like it. Each of them brings so much. It's this unique combination of bringing so much of themselves, but also, I think you're right, the spirits of these icons to the role. And I mean, Nick Voss, who plays Elvis, there are moments I've seen actors play Elvis before, but it just looks like they've learned some kind of Elvis choreography or Elvis moves. But not as authentic as Nick just kind of lives this. The guy who plays Elvis in our production, he's outstanding. I love watching what he does with his role. Yeah.
And I have to say that probably my favorite in the story is Carl Perkins. My favorite in this particular production was Jerry Lee Lewis, and I'll tell you why. Because as you saw me that day. You did the introduction. You stepped off stage, and I got to say hello to you. But when I was there, I was on the left side, the far left side of the theater, which is right in front of Jerry Lee's piano. So when they have to do things, because Jerry Lewis was just one big bunch of pin-up energy, and some of that was in talent, and some of that was in just manic disorder. You know, he was so tormented in a way. I don't think that's too strong of a word.
I agree. I think that was one of the things that made him so thrilling to watch. There was this kind of danger about him, the way he attacked the piano and the music. I mean, it's thrilling to watch. And Dom Scott, who plays Jerry Lee Lewis, is a phenomenal performer who's able to capture all of that and also be super funny and charming and crazy. He brings everything to it. It's a great performance.
And he brings in the real part about Jerry Lee Lewis, the part we don't necessarily want to know about being married to two underage women and having that taken care of by the time he was 21, and he didn't shy away from that. But the way he flipped backwards off the piano, played the piano from behind while straddling it, it was difficult for me who, the art of walking is beyond me, shall we say. So the watching these people do these amazing physical feats just blew my mind, because I'm thinking, if he misses that mark a half an inch, he's going to break a leg. He's going to break a leg. And he turned the piano stool over right in front of me, and I thought, he never missed a mark, and that's why I say that he had to have some kind of spirits guiding him to be able to do that, or he wouldn't have been able to execute that as perfectly as he did.
I don't think you'll see another Jerry Lee like him.
Yeah.
He is one of a kind, and believe me, every night when he jumps off that piano, I'm holding my breath, like, don't sprain your ankle, please, be good for tomorrow.
Exactly.
He's terrific. Yep.
But when they, in the moments where they're having a conversation and they have to shush him, he turns and bites his nails and is looking off to the side. And every time he did that, he was using me as his point of reference, I think, because he was looking at me, and he was looking at me like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill them all. And I just kind of smiled and nodded to see if I could get him to break that fourth wall a little bit. But he didn't. He didn't. He stayed straight in character. But I knew he was looking straight at me. I could feel the beams on me, when he.
That's funny. Yeah.
But it's an amazing thing, because not only do you get this wonderful history of, first of all, Colin Escott is one of the greatest historians of rock and roll ever. I enjoy everything that he writes, his books, and he gives acknowledgement to people who started rock and roll, like Clyde McPhatter, that maybe people don't know or get credit for. And I think he's just absolutely brilliant. So it's of no surprise to me that he wrote this play. We get the wonderful history of rock and roll, and we also get the part that we don't know about what might have happened in that room between those two, for very volatile. I mean, they're all friends, but they're all competitors too. They're all and those tensions are always boiling under and sometimes boiling over, particularly between Carl and Jerry Lee. There are a couple of times that you think they're going to be around each other's neck here any minute. But then when you come back to the music, then they're high-fiving each other and hugging each other, and the tensions melt away, because in the end, they're just four good old Southern boys who like to play some music.
That's right. And one of the things that's so interesting about this event, this day when they're all together, is that this is all before they were icons. They're all kind of on the eve of becoming big stars, and so they're all ready to take that next step. And Phillips is trying to hold on to them so he can save Sun Records. So it's kind of inherently dramatic. And it's a great play. It's a great way to kind of showcase the music of these guys.
Now, not only do you get the history of this, knowing what kind of icons they're going to be, because Jerry Lee, all he's wanting to do is play his song, and nobody will listen to him because they're too busy playing their own songs, and then he gets to play Great Balls of Fire, and he literally unleashes almost Great Balls of Fire on the stage, just about.
Yeah.
And you know, not only is it this excellent period in history, but rock and roll in its infancy was the most exciting thing to hit America for music lovers. And when you're in the middle of that music, you get to hear that excitement and feel what it must have been like to attend one of those concerts in the 50s where everybody was on the same bill for a couple of bucks. It must have been just great.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why this show is so popular too. Is that particularly for our audience, this is the music of their youths and the music of that they loved growing up, and now to kind of, you know, get in this time machine and go back and see these guys making it. It's really a special event.
Yes, absolutely. And how much fun is it for you to direct a show like this?
Well, I had a great time. I mean, I realized pretty early on when I was working with them, they were all so good at it, and so that when I told them in the beginning, it looks like I just need to stay out of your way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to make sure that what I'll do is I'm going to direct it towards our audience and what I know that our audience loves, which is story. And you guys will take care of the music, which they do in a great way. And by doing that, we'll have this great production. And I think that's what's happened. So I just wanted to make sure as I was directing that they all, you know, had what they needed to give their best performances, and then just encourage them, just light fires for them to go. So that's kind of how that process went.
And I wanted to mention too, always in the story, the one I have the most sympathy for, I think, is Carl Perkins, because Carl Perkins is probably the least known of the four, even though if anybody who's a student of rock and roll knows that he is a legend, but the main bone of contention between for Carl is that he had the first #1 record that ever went to the top of the country, pop, and blues charts. As they said, the first Triple Crown winner, and it was with Blue Suede Shoes. But when anybody says blue suede shoes, you think of Elvis, and the reason you think of Elvis is because he went on the Ed Sullivan Show and sang it, and that's so people thought it was his, and it was Carl Perkins. And I have read in Johnny Cash's autobiography, I've seen in interviews with Roy Orbison, that they were on tour with both of them, and Carl Perkins upstaged Elvis every time, and the incredible energy that this guy had in playing Carl Perkins, not having seen Carl Perkins live or really any I haven't really even seen any YouTube videos of Carl Perkins performing. The energy that he had and the electric quality of his performances, it was just unbelievable. And for me, the guy that played Carl Perkins, as with all the other four, was just absolutely incredible and just full of energy and charisma and swagger and talent. And
I know. He's an actor named Will Riddle, and he is so good. And you know, when you listen to the show, he is carrying the music. Carl Perkins, the whole sound of the show is Carl Perkins on electric guitar. He's in every song, taking these blistering leads, and he is the backbone of the show, you know. And so it's just ironic because I agree with you. Like he's probably the least famous of those three now, but it was his music it was his stuff that really. I mean, they say in the play, Sam Phillips says in the play, without Blue Suede Shoes, Sun Records wouldn't have ever happened.
Right.
And so one of the things again, like I think what the writer has done a good job with in this is this inherently dramatic the tension between Carl and everybody else is that Carl keeps getting passed over, and he's the one who started the whole thing. And so I feel the most sympathy and empathy for Carl as well.
And the thing is, Carl knows how good he is. He knows full well his ability, but he knows that it's going to get overshadowed by commercialism because they're making fun of Elvis because they're selling him out to the movies, which were crappy movies because he was not an actor. He could have been an actor if he had gotten roles that he wanted, because he really wanted real roles with meat in them, but never got the chance to play them.
Yeah.
And you give a little bit of foreshadowing into Colonel Parker and what he ended up doing, and how he ended up basically literally running Elvis into the ground. But Carl knew that it was commercialism that was going to win out today. That was going to win out in the day. And I think you fast forward 70 years and you look at what's selling in the music industry now, and it is all about commercialism and marketing,
right,
and what's going to make the money. To have the talent today just doesn't cut it. That it was just to be in those days where a hit record mattered is really a nice departure from what it is now.
Yeah.
You know, the electricity of a new genre and the excitement that brought.
Right.
That was in full swing. I mean, it was a full-fledged story, and it was a full-fledged rock concert by four of the greats. It's just one of the most brilliant stories ever put together, and it was impeccably done on the Barter stage.
Well, thank you.
I've got to give a shout out to the set decorator, and I mentioned him in the review. I don't have his name in front of me now, but
that's right. His name's Derek Smith, and he's our resident designer. He reimagines that space and the Gillen stage and the Smith Theater year after year after year, and he's one of the most brilliant artists I've ever gotten to work with.
Well, when I first went in, it shows up on the screen what the set looks like before they let you in the door, and I tapped my wife on the shoulder. I said, "Honey, look at that set." I mean, it was just unbelievable. And just even before it started, I was right there in Sun Records with them all the way, and hanging on for dear life the whole time, and loving every minute of it. I'm so glad. I've seen 15 years worth of shows off and on at Barter Theatre, and that's one of the best shows I have ever seen.
Oh, thank you, Zach.
Another one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm a Christmas Carol nut. My Christmas is not complete if I don't get to see Christmas Carol on the Barter stage in some form. But Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol is one of my absolute favorites, which you also performed in.
I love that show. It's such a unique take on Christmas Carol, and like getting to see it from Jacob Marley's point of view. Yeah, I think that's such a well written and interesting show. And it's haunting, and it's creepy, and it's beautiful, and it's sad, and it's full of holiday cheer, and it's all the things. And Mary Lucy as the Bogle is just that's an all-timer. That's an impeccable thing. So I have done more talking than you have, but my only excuse is because I'm a fan and I have the opportunity to tell you what these shows have meant to me. Million Dollar Quartet is at the top of the list. Thank you and thank you to all of your co-workers and colleagues for making me feel like part of the Barter family over the years, because all of you and your work and the opportunity to see these shows
for a $12 a week newspaper columnist that has meant so much to me and to my life and to my family, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity, the blessing that has been to me over the years.
Thank you, Zach. And thank you for all the support you've shown us over the years. It's really appreciated, and we're super glad that you and your family come and support the theater.
Well, I'm happy to be one of those people. Anybody can put an opinion online today, and it goes out to the world. So there's something really special for me to be able to be in the spot that I'm in, that my words can go into print, and I can look at them on ink and paper, and see my name in ink. That still means something to me. To see it online doesn't mean anything. So to be one of those reviewers that are decently thought of, and that to feel like that my words matter and make a difference, that means so much. And I have to give credit to your former boss, Mr. Richard Rose. Rick Rose was he is, of course, one of my heroes and one of the nicest people I've ever worked with, ever. And he always would write back and tell me, you have great insight, and we so appreciate your words, and they mean a lot to the Barter family. And he had a way of making me feel 10 feet tall. And like I said, to be a distant, extended part of the Barter family is a real gift to me, and it's, like I said, it's been an honor to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Zach, and I look forward to seeing you at the next production.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, take care, Zach.